There is a crow near your home right now. It has seen your face, and it has already made a decision about you. Not a guess, not an instinct, a decision based on memory, based on history, based on data it has been collecting on you, possibly for years. Most people walk past crows every single day. They don't think twice. They should. Because that crow isn't just sitting there. It's watching. It's remembering. And it's sharing what it learns with every other crow in your neighborhood. Today, we're going inside that system. The neuroscience, the social network, the emotional machinery that makes a bird the size of your fist capable of holding a relationship with a specific human face for over a decade. And by the end of this, the street you walk down every morning is going to feel very different. The Face Recognition System, 2008, University of Washington. A researcher named Dr. John Marsloff put on a rubber caveman mask. He walked onto campus. He trapped a group of crows, banded them, unharmed, and let them go. Then he never wore that mask again. 5 years later, his team walked the same campus wearing those same masks. The crows attacked them, screaming, diving, mobbing from above. But here's the part that should stop you cold. Those were different crows, born after the original study, never trapped, not once. They had inherited the memory of a specific human face and the threat it represented through their social network, parent to offspring, partner to partner, without a single crow being touched twice. Now, the biology of how this happens is not an accident. A crow's brain is roughly the size of a walnut. But inside that walnut, the region responsible for face processing is disproportionately large. Crows are not accidentally recognizing faces. Their brains are architecturally designed for it. Face recognition isn't a bonus skill. It is a primary survival tool, wired into the structure of their neural tissue, refined over millions of years. But recognizing a face is only half the story. Because a crow doesn't file your face away like a photograph. It files what you mean, the threat classification system. Every crow in your neighborhood is running a classification system. All day. Every single day. And every human that enters its territory gets scored. Crows live inside social networks. A mated pair. Offspring from previous seasons that stay nearby. Neighboring crows with long, complicated relationships. Alliances, rivalries, but always communication. When one crow in that network has an encounter with a human, good or bad, the information moves. It doesn't stay with one bird. Here is the biology. When a crow perceives a threat, the lateral amygdala fires. That's the part of the avian brain responsible for fear conditioning. It locks your face with an emotional tag, a danger rating, a response protocol. Not just face, but face, plus threat level, plus what to do about it. Now flip that, because the same system that builds a grudge can build something else entirely. In urban neighborhoods where specific humans consistently offer food, peanuts, eggs, small scraps, crows begin applying a positive classification to that face. They start seeking it out, waiting near that person's usual route, orienting toward them in a crowd. And then they start doing something almost no other wild animal does. They bring gifts. The Gifford family in Seattle received 72 gifts from crows over 4 years. Buttons, glass, bottle caps, trinkets. Left only at the spots where their child had fed them. No one trained them to do this. No one asked for it. It emerged from within the relationship itself, driven by the same reciprocity instincts that drive gift-giving in primates. That crow outside your window right now is not neutral about you. It is somewhere on that spectrum. The only question is, where? The memory architecture for decades, neuroscientists believed that complex memory required a neocortex, the layered, folded outer brain structure that mammals have, that humans have. Birds don't have a neocortex, so scientists assumed crows were operating at a level far below mammals. They were wrong. What researchers discovered is that corvids, crows, ravens, jackdaws, magpies, have a region called the nidopallium caudolaterale. It performs almost identical functions to the human prefrontal cortex: planning, working memory, impulse control, social reasoning. Different structure, different evolutionary path. Same result. Which means crows don't just have reactive memories, they have what scientists call episodic-like memory. The ability to remember specific events in specific places with specific individuals attached. Not just, this thing happened, but this thing happened. There, with that person. And this is what it meant. The same kind of memory you use when you recall a conversation from 3 years ago. The person's face, the room, how it made you feel. A crow can hold your face in that kind of memory for years, possibly its entire life. But here is the piece that reframes everything. Even if that crow dies, the information doesn't disappear, because it was already transmitted to the rest of the network while that crow was alive. The memory of your face outlives the crow that made it. It moves through the population like a story, encoded in behavior, passed through observation, alarm calls, and social learning. You are not dealing with one bird's memory. You are dealing with a distributed, socially maintained, multi-generational database. And your face is already in it, the social network. Most people picture one crow, maybe two, sitting on a wire. That's not what's actually happening. In Sacramento, California, winter crow roosts contain over 100,000 birds. One location. Every single evening. Urban crows live in what researchers call a fission-fusion society. During the day, they split into small family groups to forage their territory. At dusk, they rejoin at communal roosts. And at the roost, information moves. Not through language, through something harder to block. It's called social eavesdropping, combined with observational learning. A crow that had a bad encounter with a human today arrives at the roost. It alarm calls at certain stimuli. Other crows observe which stimuli trigger the alarm. They absorb the association, without ever having the original experience themselves. A crow that has never seen your face can already be biased against you, before you've ever had a single interaction. And in dense urban areas, where stray crows are most concentrated, where the same humans pass through the same streets every single day, this transfer happens faster than anywhere else. The roosts are bigger, the territories overlap more, the data accumulates faster. Every time you waved a crow off your car, every time you walked past one in distress, every time you dropped food without thinking, it was logged, rated, distributed. And somewhere in that network, a file exists with your face on it. You just don't know what it says. The emotion behind the memory. This is the part most people skip past. It's easier to think of crows as clever machines, pattern matchers, biological databases. But that is not what the research shows. Stray urban crows, the ones with no owner, no guaranteed food, no protected space, live under chronic low-grade stress every single day. Their world is loud, unpredictable, full of threats. Cars, cats, competing corvids, humans who range from indifferent to actively hostile. Every day, hundreds of threat assessments. Is this face safe? Is that one dangerous? Does this person match the file I have stored for someone who threw something at me last winter? That is not machine processing. That is a mind working under pressure. And what the science shows is that the emotional texture of those assessments is not simple. Crows exhibit what behavioral scientists call emotional contagion. When one crow in a group is in high alarm, nearby crows show measurable physiological stress responses, even when they can't see the original threat. When one crow is calm and foraging, others forage longer, breathe easier, relax. The emotional state moves through the group, through the network, and your behavior, your calmness or your aggression, doesn't just affect one bird. It ripples. There was a case documented in Tokyo. Stray crows in one neighborhood had been fed for 11 years by an elderly woman. When she was hospitalized, the crows continued visiting her windowsill for 6 weeks. Not frantically, not desperately, just showing up. Behaviorists are careful not to read too much into this. The crows were likely responding to the absence of a reliable food stimulus. But what it reveals is the depth to which a specific human can become embedded in a stray crow's world. You can become, to a crow, not just a food source, but a known individual, with a history, with a place in the emotional map of their daily life. What you can do, most people who learn what crows are capable of make one of 2 mistakes. The first, they immediately start offering food, inconsistently, from different spots, on different days. Then wonder why the crow still seems distant. The crow isn't distant. It's confused. Inconsistency doesn't read as kindness to a crow. It reads as unpredictability. And unpredictable things get classified as potential threats, because consistency is the only currency a crow trusts. The second mistake is the opposite. Someone learns that crows hold grudges and decides to avoid them entirely. That also backfires. If you live or work in their territory, avoidance is impossible. You keep appearing, and every neutral appearance keeps your classification at 0. 0 isn't safe. In a crow's world, unknown means unpredictable, and unpredictable means caution. Here is what the biology actually supports. Step 1. Consistency before food. Walk the same route. Same time. Move calmly. No sudden sounds. You're already being logged. Start logging yourself as predictable and safe. Step 2. Introduce food the right way. Unsalted peanuts in the shell. Same spot. Same time. Put them down and step back. Don't hold eye contact when you do it. In the corvid world, a direct stare signals challenge. Look slightly past them. Move slowly. Let them come to the food. Then do it again. Same place. Same time. Same movements. The crow's brain is building a predictive model of you. It needs consistent data points. You cannot rush this. But once that model completes, once the crow has enough data to classify you as safe, something shifts. They start waiting for you. Same spot. Before you even arrive. Because now, you are a known quantity in their world, and known is safe. A crow saw you today, and somewhere inside a brain the size of a walnut, running on neural architecture that took a completely different evolutionary path from yours, your face was processed, tagged, filed, possibly distributed to minds you'll never see. At the start of this, you walked past crows without thinking. You had no idea a file was being built. Now you know. But the crow knew before you did. It always does. This channel exists for one reason: to take the stray animals that share your world, the ones with no owners, no advocates, no one to translate their silence, and show you exactly what is happening inside them, what they feel, what they remember, what they know about you. Every week, right here. Subscribe, because the crow on your wire tomorrow already has a head start on you.